Hi, and welcome to L.I.F.E, the Los Angeles Institute for Film Excellence, the show that truly caters to the independent filmmaker. I'm George Vincent, your host, and today we have actor, director, and producer Nicole Watson. Hi, Nicole. Welcome to the show.
Hi, George. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me down today.
Absolutely. It's so good to see you. We've worked together before in the past, and all I can say is I don't know your background, so let's just dive into that. Where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Vancouver, Canada, and I came to Los Angeles in 2011. So I've been based here for about 10 years. And but prior to coming to LA, I actually lived in Australia 6 years, worked in Mexico a year, and worked in some other countries also.
You are the traveler.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what brought you to the U.S.?
I came to the U.S. for the film industry. So I had been working in independent film, TV commercials, some different, modeling and whatnot. And I really wanted to give it a go. So Los Angeles is the place to be. It's the Olympics of the film industry. And I thought I have to give it a chance at some point in my career. I love California, so I made the effort to come down, got the O1 visa, and then eventually got a green card.
Tell us, what inspired you to become an actor?
In my career, I started as a model, moved into TV commercials, and then in independent film. But when I look back, in high school, I was the kid that had my parents' video camera, and I was going around the school filming the other students. I had a friend that did editing, and we were putting together kind of these crazy little videos and different things like that. So I think it was that creativity was always in me, and the using imagery to tell stories was something that I wanted to do. And I also have an arts background, so I was into sculpture, painting, design, different things like that.
Wow, very creative. Love it. Love it. As an actor, we always remember our first project, our first acting gig. What was yours?
There's kind of two that come to mind. There was the first time that I actually worked on a TV show. I was an extra, but it was the TV show Dark Angel, directed by James Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
And we had done some courses, and you're always told not to look into the eye line or cross the eye line of the lead actors. And of course, they selected me to walk by Jessica Alba, go up to the bar, and order a drink. So I had to keep doing the scene over and over, walking by her, and I'm trying not to be in her eye line. And I was nervous because it was my first time on set, but got through it. And
you didn't get kicked off?
No. They went well. And then the first time I auditioned for bigger film, it was that I booked. It was Freddy versus Jason, and it was for this dead woman. So I had to go into the trailer of the director and audition as if I was being killed or drowned or dying or whatnot. So I went in there and I gave it my all, and I got booked for that too. So
what is your dream role? Is there any project, is there any film, any TV show currently that you could say, that's the character, that's what I want? Is there anything out there right now?
So I really like biopic pieces that are about real people, real stories. I like women in strong leadership positions or that have done something to change history in a way. Those are the kind of roles the kind of movies that I gravitate towards, and I think it's really wonderful to bring those stories to life and to share it with audiences today. So probably a role like that where it's based on a true story and a true character and something that's a little bit monumental to shape or move history in some way.
Give us 2 pieces of advice for actors out there. 2 nuggets. What would you say?
Know that if you're getting into acting, it's a long road. So, don't expect to make the decision and just that you're going to be discovered and then your career is just going to go. It's a long road and it's a full commitment. So make decisions that align with your values and you don't have to say yes to everything, and know that it's a lifelong career. So.
Well said. Very good. Good points. Good points. Seriously.
And I am so glad I said no to all those, nude scenes and everything else. I can't tell you how many times I was asked in my early 20s to do these types of things.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to producing. You produced a documentary and a feature film. Tell us about those, please.
So with the feature film, I segued kind of from acting into producing. When I wasn't acting, I managed some businesses, and I developed a project in Australia. I produced a music festival. I was always in business on the side. So after working in the film industry as an actor and learning how productions worked and the financing came in, and I was really drawn into this business side of things. So I started to segue into producing. I had met with some investors and different people, and I understood that certain investors were looking for different types of things, whether it be projects or investment opportunity or whatnot. So I had a film present to me, and they were looking for finishing funds. They had shot the film a few years prior, it was in the can. They needed to edit it and do all the post-production. I was working with an investor at that time, and I was able to put the deal together and make that film happen so it could be completed and go out to festivals and then distribution. Like my documentary, I directed and produced that. That was more hands-on. I was actually coordinating the film team, interviewing them, watching their reels, deciding who was going to do what, deciding on the editor, working with the editor on the post. So that was like full hands-on. And then actually I had 3 other independent features that one of them I had attached funding, and it was contingent on another piece of funding coming in. And we actually wrote out that film for a year waiting for the additional funding to come in. There was actors attached.
Wow.
And the production couldn't get the additional funding. So my investor was ready with his commitment, but it needed a bit more to put it over the edge. And he, a lot of investors want to come in when there's another investor present. They don't want to be the only person. So we actually waited about 14 months, and then the film didn't happen. So I coordinated to have the money returned to the investor, and we moved on from there. And then another film we wrote the script for. We had a production company at the time, Black Dot Productions. Had the script written. Again, we had financing attached, contingent on some more financing coming in. It just couldn't materialize, and that film, the script is still sitting there waiting for a day that it's lived. So there are times in producing when you have some of the pieces and you just need that little bit more, and for whatever reason it doesn't materialize. But
what qualities or skills should a good producer have?
So a good producer needs to be able to multitask, be a great coordinator, flexible enough to understand there's a lot of moving parts, and you may have to let go of some things you really wanted and be ready to bring on new components. Investors come and go, actors can work, and then all of a sudden something else happens. Things shift and change, and you just have to have that flexibility. Strong coordination skills, and the ability to see something from start to finish. So really holding the team together and being that through line right to the end. And I'd say keeping an upbeat attitude as well, because you're really holding the teams together and being a good communicator. So all those things are important.
Why was it so important for you to make your documentary? Obviously, there's a message in there that you want out. What is that?
So with my documentary filmmaking, I'm quite passionate about world issues, stories that can impact or change the world, to give people new insight or information about what's happening in the planet. And as I was working in the film industry, I wanted to do something that had a little more impact on people's lives, and to share stories that could help people in some way. So I actually launched a nonprofit in 2015, and we started doing some empowerment projects using solar power. And then I layered in a documentary element to it. So we filmed these projects. So the first documentary is about a solar energy solution that we brought into a trafficking rescue in Calcutta, India, where they rescue and rehabilitate young women that have been rescued from the trafficking industry itself. And the solar power we brought into their facility, which then allowed them to have consistent light for the computers and sewing machines to work, which is in their training areas and things. And how the light empowered and the electricity empowered them in their healing process to reshape their lives. So it was not only a documentary, but our nonprofit was actually involved in a lot of the coordination and putting that project together.
What's the name of the documentary?
That one is Sustainable Futures, Survivor Girls.
Calcutta is the capital of West Bengal, near Bangladesh and India's eastern borderland. It is one of the most densely populated regions of the world and a major hub for human trafficking.
Great title.
Yeah. So it was a little bit long. We kind of shortened it by saying SFSG is our little shortened version, but Sustainable Future Survivor Girls. And and now I'm working on a documentary filmed in Kenya. We're empowering students with solar light, and we're documenting how the solar light impacts these kids that are living in nomadic communities that are using sticks and kerosene for light, and when they get a solar light, how that can actually impact their lives quite significantly.
Very interesting. Great stuff.
Yeah.
You're making a difference. You're making a difference.
Thanks, George. Yeah, and I really like supporting projects and films that are impacting the world somehow and sharing these stories.
We're going to have a little fun right now.
Sure.
It's this or that. Okay, you ready? Call or text?
Both.
Pick one.
Text.
Okay, meat or veggies?
Veggies, I'm a vegan.
I knew it! Pop or indie?
Music?
Yeah.
Pop.
Red or blue?
Blue.
Ocean or mountains?
Ocean.
Apple or Android?
Android.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Sneakers or sandals?
Both.
Pick one.
Sneakers.
Okay.
Though I like sandals.
Yoga or weights?
Yoga.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Well, we're going to end this on that sweet note.
Good.
It's been nothing but a pleasure. Thank you for making time to come out here and just share your insights with us.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
Yeah, it's been great. And I can't wait for our world premiere of Enter the Diamond. We'll be on the red carpet together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you for coming by. Truly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a real pleasure. Thanks, George.